We want to say thank you to everybody. So good to see everyone's faces this early in the morning. This is Saturday. It is a beautiful day, just like we just got through playing music. It's a lovely day, no matter what we got going on, no matter what is,
Oh, yes.
trying to come against us. It's lovely because you're here. But number one, we have breath in our bodies, and we got goals, and we have Jesus. So we know that everything is going to be okay. And so I know that there's
Yes.
faces, lots of faces that I know, lots of faces that
Yes.
I don't know. But so I just want to introduce myself. I am Lady Charlotte Withers, and just the part of and lead over the her ministry at Unity Church. And we just, we wanted to do something a little different today. It's good, when we have certain topics and we go through our Bible plans and whatnot. And I want you guys to join it, when we have future things. And a lot of you have already been on, but we need to talk about also some practical things and see what it is that we need to do about things that we handle and that are part of our lives every single day. And the pandemic has been a lot for everybody. But I do want you to know that it can also be a blessing. Okay. The pandemic can also be a blessing. And so we want to know, how do we function in these times and after this? Because you guys, it won't forever be this way. We know that, right? We're not going to stay right here. So after this, we have to know what it is that we can do.
Yes.
So I truly, truly, truly appreciate. I do see my midwife girlfriend on right now. So hi, Demila. I appreciate it. So right now, I just want to say, like I said, I just welcome everybody to come in. We'll continue to keep letting everyone in. I want to say thank you to my husband, Bishop Withers, for just allowing us the platform to function. A lot of people, you guys, you have no idea that they still don't want to allow women to have a voice and don't want to let women have a place. And so I praise God for him that he does see an importance, and he does see value in us women, that we can be able to function and do what we have to do as well. So thank God for that. And so everybody from Unity, like I said, there's a lot of Unity members, and there is some other ones that I don't know. But let me tell y'all something. Ever since we've been virtual, our church has grown. So when we come back to church, we are definitely gonna see some faces that we do not know. We might be on Facebook saying hi to each other, but we never seen each other's face, right? So if you guys, I want y'all to be totally familiar with the chat. You guys can talk in the chat. This is not a quiet day, okay? We definitely gonna have fun. Go in your chat and use it. But right now, if you are a Unity member, just put a 1. If you're not, a 2, okay? Can you guys do that right now? You know where your chat function is. If you're not a Unity member, put a 2. If you are, a 1. And I would like to see that. Amazing, 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 amazing. A lot of 1s. I see some great 2s. All right. So if everybody could just, what I want you to do right now, just take yourself off mute and just everybody say hi at the same time. I don't want you guys to be quiet. Everybody say hello to each other.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody,
right.
give me a second. I'll be on camera in a minute. Good morning.
Thank
Good
y'all.
morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I love when women get together. It's such a powerful thing, such an amazing vibe, and we got it, you guys. So I just praise God for that. So I just want to talk to you real briefly about what we're doing today. So this is called, as you know, Bishop has deemed the year of 2021. If some of you guys might not know, the year to dominate. Okay, to dominate. What does that mean? It means to have commanding influence over, or to exercise the use of control over something. Okay, so we came to dominate everything. And how do you know that we can do this? Okay, in Psalms 8:6, it says, "You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands, that you have put all things under his feet." God has given us dominion. In the beginning, when he created us, he gave us dominion over the fowl of the air, or over the fish in the sea. He gave us dominion over every creeping and crawling thing. We have dominion in this earth. And so that is super good news for us today. We even have dominion over our finances. That's why we're here today. And so we don't have to be in debt. We can be debt free. We can live in an overflow. We can live abundantly. He said he came to give us the abundant life, not the mundane life. So that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to go to the next level. I want everybody here to know you don't have to be broke. You don't have to be under, you don't have to be beneath, we don't have to be at the end. We can dominate in our finances as well. So bringing that to the forefront, we have somebody right in our ministry, right in our ministry who, finances is a thing. It's something that you have to learn. And some of us, our parents may not have known very much about budgeting, very much about investing, very much about, just how to purchase credit, whatnot. So then what gets passed on to you, right? You don't know very much. So we get in college, they start putting up the little tables with the credit cards. You pass them by, they smiling, hey, would you like some candy? You want some candy because you're hungry on your way to your class. You stop for the candy, you signed up for the credit card. Next thing you know, you in debt. And you ain't even 22 years old yet. You don't even have a house yet. They already got you with your credit card, you toe up already, right? But that's because nobody has taught us how to responsibly use it. Credit does not have to be a bad thing, and we'll hear about that. But we have somebody in our midst who knows about this. And God just led me to ask her, like, listen, hey, can you share this with, with the house? Can we bring this to the house? Because she's doing very, very well. Very well. So I just want to introduce Miss Jasmine Waller. She is the CEO of Budget Treasure. She is a single mom. Jasmine waves, so everybody know who we looking at today. Hey.
Hello.
All right. So she decided 3 years ago to take control of her finances, and it's helped her to pay over $220,000 off in debt. Okay. Now she's consumer debt free. She's saved over $40,000. She's increased her streams of income from 1 to 4. She's purchased her first piece of property, real estate. Y'all know real estate is where it's at. And she's here to help many women. And that's what she does now. She helps many women pay off debt, how to save money, and how to reach their personal financial goals. So I'm so excited. I'm ready to move forward. And I just want you guys, if you know how to rename yourself, and then we're going to go into prayer, we're going to get right into Jasmine. I see everybody's names and all of that good stuff, but I really, really, really want us, if we can. Okay, so y'all look at each other's names, but today we're going to change our name. Okay, we're going to change our name, and we're going to change our name to a goal that we want to accomplish. Okay, so in 2021, you have something that you want. You want a goal. I'm talking about something that money can buy, okay? Because, we got some goals. Some things money can't buy. It's just you got to work on it. You got to go to school for it. But what's something that you want that money can buy? It might be a new business, a home, or whatever. Change your name. Let me tell y'all how to change your name. If you hover over your picture and there's 3 little dots, you can tap those. Tap that, and it says rename, okay? So you're going to put a new name. It could be something that money can buy, or it could be something that can make you money. Put it like that. I have just renamed my name. If y'all see how to rename yourself. All right. Take a few minutes to do that. Let me know if anybody need help with that. It's the 3 little, somebody said how to do it. You can do it on the iPhone. There's like, when you go, anybody know, I think when you go down to all the commands, there is where you have the emotions and all of that good stuff. You can put rename from there. When you're on your iPhone. Okay, cool. All right. So as we're doing that, your names are changing, and I see that. I'm going to pray really fast. Father, in the name of Jesus, God, I thank you. I bless you. I thank you for every woman that is present here, God. God, I ask that you would continue to make us better women, continue to show us ourselves, continue to flip us inside out and make us over from the inside to the outside. The inside is what matters. And so we ask for forgiveness of everything that we've done and the things that we didn't even know about. God, we just ask that you would continue to just clean us out and just make us the women that you had designed us to be from the beginning, oh God. God, we are thanking you for this day. We thanking you for the opportunity. We thank you for the knowledge that we're going to get. We thank God for Jasmine, oh God. We thank God for where our futures are taking us after this knowledge that we will obtain today. God, we thank you. We ask that you would bless it, and we ask that you would bring the other women who have registered so that they would not miss out on this information. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. All right, without any further ado, hi, Jasmine. Come on, girl.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Thank you so much, Lady Withers, for allowing me to speak to all of these amazing women this morning about finances, something that is so very dear to my heart. It's something that, God told me that I would do, and I didn't believe him because he told me when I was broke. And so I'm like, well, God, how am I going to talk to women about money and I don't have any myself? And so he had to take me through some things in order to get my finances together so that I can stand in a place to be able to talk to women about how you can get your finances together. Women, we are a little different from men. I know that we've heard and we know that men make a little bit more money than we do. However, we are creative beings, and we know how to make things happen as single moms. I am a single mother. My daughter is 18 now, but she wasn't always 18. And even after 18, you're still caring for your children. For you guys who have children, it doesn't stop once they turn 18. But I've been a single mom pretty much all her life. And so I've definitely gone through some things, and I was able to come out on the other side and continue to flow in that. And so it just gives me complete joy to talk about how to get to a place where we can be debt free, where we don't have to live, as Lady Willis talked about earlier, we don't have to live beneath, we don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes we don't know that until someone tells us. And so we are going to get into the presentation here. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So just give me 1 minute. Do this.
I'm here. I'm giving you your co-host right now.
Okay.
So I see you guys' names being changed, and please understand that this is attainable. So that's what Jasmine, as soon as I come, Jasmine, you way far down there. Okay, fine.
All right. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. I did want to take a look at some of the names. Let's see. Womb Hiller. We got no credit card or car note, I'm assuming. Joey. Yours still says Joey. So let's financial freedom. Amen. Start a business. Yes. Sterling. Yours still says Sterling.
Yes, because Sterling wants to bank more.
Bank more. Okay. Make more money. Multiple streams. Yes. Stephanie, yours still says Stephanie.
Yes, I was trying to change it, but I saw it earlier, but I don't see it now. But anywho, I want a vacation spot in the Caribbeans.
Oh, fancy. Okay. Well, we claim that in the name of Jesus.
Yes.
Home purchase. Yes, absolutely. 3 streams of income, 2 streams. Let's see. Lashaya, you haven't changed yours yet. 2 more streams.
I was looking for it, but my goal right now is to buy my mom a new car for her 60th birthday and to have a beachfront property.
Amen. I love this. Yes. Debt free. It is attainable. Siobhan, you haven't changed your name yet?
Because, I had to step away really quick. And so I don't know. Okay. What am I changing my name to? I see affirmation. I'm sorry.
A goal that you have for this year.
Okay.
A financial goal.
Okay. All
right. And then we have property, and I think that says finance. It's cutting me off. Mom, increase savings. Okay, good. So I'm sorry if I missed anybody. The way that this it's only giving me a couple people at a time, but we're in a good space. We're in a good place, and we're going to talk about all of the goals that you guys do have. So let's go ahead and get started because I want to make sure that we make good use of our time. So this is what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss her why, in which we kind of already, talked about a little bit with your goals that you have by changing your name. We're going to talk about her discovery. We're going to talk about her spending, her debt. We're going to talk about her saving, her budget, and her bag. And then we're going to talk about her giving. Okay.
Yes.
So first, let's talk about the stats. So 43% of Americans who say that they are living paycheck to paycheck, 85% of them are women. And why do you think 85% of the Americans are women? So in my study, one of the things is knowledge. Sometimes we just don't know how to effectively pay off debt. We don't know how to manage our money, basically. And so if you can't manage your money, you really can't move to the next level of being debt-free or having a business. You may always find yourself living paycheck to paycheck because maybe that's how you grew up. So you just feel as though it's normal. It's normal to live this way. It's normal to receive your paycheck, feed the kids, pay the bills, and then do it all over again. Some choose not to manage their money properly. Some women, which I have, all of the things that we're going to talk about today, I have stood in the seat myself. Some women just decide that, I don't want to manage my money properly. I've heard all the time, I don't make enough money to budget, or I don't make enough money to pay all my bills at one time. And it's because we do not properly plan. And all we have on the mind is I need to provide for my children, my household. And so we decide not to manage our money properly. Women, we don't save our money. We're always out, we love brunches, we love shopping, we love making other people feel good. And so we may spend our money on other people and we just don't have any savings. Another one, we have no budget. Therefore, we don't know what we're spending our money on because we don't even have a budget. We haven't planned for anything. And so we're just unaware. And kind of like what I talked about earlier, we know that there is a sizable difference when it comes to income from men and women. Not only that, but then also being an African-American woman, our income, unfortunately, is even lower on the scale. So we know that that is a proven fact. However, it is not a reason to stay down. We need to face it, confront it, and move forward. So women live paycheck to paycheck roughly five times as often as men. Okay, so those are the stats. We know them. But we're going to talk about how we can really just kind of shut those stats down and kind of move forward and know that we don't have to live that way. So now we're going to talk about her why. So I often like to talk about why we do the things that we do and why we made the decisions that we made. So you must define your why before you can begin with the what and the how. It keeps you going even when you want to give up, and it also motivates you to go beast mode. So as I talked about earlier, I am a single mom. I've been a single mom pretty much since my daughter was born, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't always have money to feed her. There were times where I would count the change in my ashtray literally just to feed her. I didn't really have to eat, but I had to make sure that she ate. There were times when I, started making money, but then I also spent all of my money because I didn't know how to manage it, even though I was making more. And about 3 years ago, it was around holiday time, and I had got paid on a Friday, and then on Monday I was broke, like literally just broke. And then at that time, I had, I was like, I can't keep living like this. My daughter's getting older, and what happens if she comes to me at 18, 19, 20, and she has now a real financial problem, and I can't help her because I haven't managed my finances correctly. And she's the only child. And I'm like, I just don't want that to be her story. I want to leave something for her when when God calls me home. I want her to have something. I want her to be left with knowledge of even how to manage her money. My mom is amazing with money, but she didn't teach me how to manage money. I think our parents, they are of a different kind. It's kind of like, you know, we don't talk about money in the household. As long as you got food on the table, as long as you eating, as long as you got a roof over your head, you good. But I didn't want that to be the case for my daughter. I wanted to teach her about money, teach her about all the mistakes that I made. And so that is my why. My why is to make sure that I'm able to provide for her as a young adult, with help, you know, help that she needs, and to show her so that she knows when she's moving forward in her life that she can manage her money well, and she doesn't have to start off like I started off, just broke and living paycheck to paycheck and having no savings and things like that. And so you want to identify your why, and we already talked about it, so we're not going to keep going. But what I want you guys to do is not only have the name on your Zoom here, but just kind of jot that down in your notes. So whenever you feel like you want to give up, because you will, just kind of look at your reason why you need to keep going. I would look at my why every single day. I carried it with me. I had it like in a budget book, and I would just continue to look at it and remind myself of why I needed to keep going. All right, so now we're going to talk about her discovery. So what do you spend your money on? So by raise of hands, I want you guys to let me know if you know exactly what you spend your money on every single month. Okay, a couple of you guys, a few of you guys. All right. All right, so sometimes we think we know what we spend our money on, but this is an exercise that I encourage everyone to go through. So what you want to do is you want to review the last 3 months of your checking account and your credit card statements. Okay, you want to go into your bank account, you want to log in, and you want to take the last 3 months and you want to look at everything that you have spent your money on. Okay, then you want to categorize what you spent your money on. So if that's food, another one would be like household goods, another one would be shopping. You want to just your bills as well. And so once you go into your bank account and then also your checking account your credit card statements, you want to review the last 3 months. You also want to review your payment methods, okay? One of the strategies that I use that has helped me tremendously, I live and die by it, is using cash. I have to use cash. I cannot use a debit card, because when you're using a debit card, trust me, you think you know how much money you have, but you really don't, okay? The money is invisible, and we're not that great at, you know, counting money in our head. So I have to use cash, okay? So what you want to do is you want to look at how you're spending your money, if you're using your debit card or if you're using your credit card. Then what you want to do is you want to take it all in. This process is probably going to take you 1 to 2 days. You want to, what I suggest that you do is not only pull up your accounts online, but you also print out your statements and you highlight them. You maybe can get like a pack of 4 highlighters. I hope you guys can see this. That has different colors. And you want to say maybe pink is going to be for food only. Green will be for shopping. Orange will be for bills. And then after you are done doing that, then you want to calculate every single area, okay? A lot of my clients that I have worked with in the past, they spend all their money on food. They would not only go to the grocery store, but they would also eat out. So if you taken all of that money, I had one client who was spending $1,000 on food. And once we unraveled what she was doing, she was buying food for herself, food for her husband, food for her kids, and then they would also eat out every night. So it's just crazy. So you definitely want to take it all in. You want to sit with that emotion. How does it make you feel once you realize what you're spending your money on? Okay, that's going to be very important first step. Okay. Now we're going to talk about her spending habits. We're going to talk about your money personality. Your money personality has everything to do with how you spend your money, and it is the first step in helping you to achieve financial health. So I also want to let you know, just kind of put a pin here. If you guys have any questions, make sure that you jot them down. And then at the end of the presentation, we're going to have like a Q&A time, okay? So I just wanted to mention that because I forgot to mention it earlier. So let's go over the first money personality. So this is the spender, okay? Who is the spender? The spender is someone who just basically spends all of her money, okay? There's no basic thing that she spends her money on. She's just out there. So as long as she has it in her account, she's spending it. She's going to the store, she's buying, you know, whatever it is that she wants. She lives paycheck to paycheck. Once the money is gone, the money is gone. The spender, oftentimes they're negative in their accounts. And so they then have to pay non-sufficient fund fees and things like that. So the spender just spends their money on any and everything that they feel like spending their money on. The social value spender. Okay, I love this one because I was the spender. I was also the social value spender. So this person, shopping makes them happy. Okay, shopping makes me happy still. This person will blow Christmas. Everybody needs a Christmas gift. My family, if I'm married, my spouse's family, the kids at work, everybody needs a gift. They just blow that. Birthdays, everybody needs a birthday gift. This can also be defined as someone who makes purchases to boost their self-esteem. This was also me. It made me just feel better about myself because I had a bag of clothes that I went to the mall to shop for. It was addictive. And that is the social value spender. That was me. I'm going to raise my hand. The next one is the cash splasher. Okay. This one is very similar to the social value spender. This person always fronts the bill. This was me, y'all. When I got a little bit of money, when I thought I had a little bit of money, okay, I had just got a promotion at work. Well, no, this was before my promotion. I was working like a lot of overtime. And so my checks were nice. And I, thought I had money. So whenever me and my friends would go out, I would front the bill. I'm like, oh, y'all, don't worry, I got it, going into my Louis bag that I spent because I was a social value spender. And I would front the bill for the whole table because I felt as though it made me look good, okay? They're always picking up the bill. Cash splashers view themselves as generous, but they use the money to make others think more highly of them. They spend money on things that they can do without. Sometimes the cash splashers are looking to be admired. And that was me. It's something that we absolutely have to understand and recognize so that we know how to combat being a cash splasher. The next one is the avoider. So this person avoids paying bills on time. They avoid checking their checking accounts. They avoid money conversations. They have a difficult time balancing their account and their checkbook. They do their taxes at the very last minute. They avoid doing a budget. They avoid investing and saving. And why? Why does the avoider avoid doing these things? Because it's just simply overwhelming, especially if you don't know how to manage your money. Everything that I just stated is completely overwhelming. It can make you feel very stressed and choked at the same time. You feel anxiety, so you don't want to deal with it. You feel inadequate, and you may even feel like you don't make enough money, so you avoid it just altogether. Like, I don't even make enough money, so it just doesn't even matter. I'm just not even going to deal with it. I'm going to let my bills go late, and I'm going to pay them when I get the pink notice in the mail, because now I know I have to pay it. I don't have a choice. And I'm not even going to pay it completely. I'm going to pay maybe just that one bill so that my lights are not cut off, so that my car is not taken, so that, you know, I don't lose whatever that thing is. And that is the avoider. That's a very, very, very dangerous place to be, okay? And so how do you dominate with her? How do you fix all of these things? If you are the avoider, if you're the cash splasher, if you are the spender, how do you avoid, how do you kind of combat these things? So number one, you want to use cash, okay? Cash is queen. I talked about that earlier. And you want to give yourself a budget for, you know, these things. So if you are a cash splasher and you like to just spend money, maybe you save money for that particular purchase. So that, of course, is going to cause planning. So, you know, let's just say you have a dinner, you know, that's coming up, and you know that you want to, you know, pay for the dinner because maybe it's somebody's birthday or what have you. You plan for that. You save $25 per paycheck, or you save $50 per paycheck. And once the actual event comes up, you're probably going to change your mind about fronting the bill. The reason why is because you have now worked to save that money. And the last thing you want to do is just blow it on something that's probably not even going to be as valuable maybe to the person or the people who are there. People who save their money and they really do the work to save it, they're not as quick to spend it, okay? You want to wait 24 hours before making a purchase. So let's say you just haven't gotten there yet, and you're just like, you know, I'm gonna go to the mall and, oh my God, I see this nice, whatever it is, and you want to purchase it. If you're a person like me, you want to wait 24 hours. Once you know, leave the mall, if you continuously think about that thing, because most times you're going to forget about it once you leave. You're not even going to think about it anymore. You're gone from it. It's, you know, it's left you. You're on to doing other things. But if you're constantly thinking about it, then you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to make a plan to purchase this item. Once you make that plan and you save for it, you might even change your mind after that point. You're like, you know what? I'm not about to spend this $1,000 on this bag. Like, you know what else I could do with this? You know, I could do this, this, and this, which has more of a priority over what I'm going to spend at the mall or whatever it is that you wanted, okay? The next is to stop impulse buying. You notice when you go to Target, you go to any of these stores, when you're in line, they have like these rows of just little stuff, little trinkets, right? It's there for a reason. One of the things that have stopped me from picking up things like, oh, this is cute right here, this is cute, let me get this and put it in the bag, is because I know their goal is to sell, okay? And the way I feel, you're not gonna get me with your tactic because you want to sell. So I'm not gonna let you sell me into being broke. So that helps me, that, you know, that's the way that I think, but you wanna know that they put that stuff there for a reason, okay? You wanna save for purchases and events. We talked about this earlier. If you know something is coming up, you want to plan for it, okay? We're going to talk about sinking funds when we get into the saving portion of the presentation, but you want to set up a sinking fund for that purchase or event that's coming up. You want to create a system for paying bills. What is your system? How do you pay bills? Do you just pay it once the due date comes? Do you have a specific day that you sit down and you pay all of your bills? How do you pay your bills? For me, in the past, I would just pay it when the due date came. So I was paying bills all throughout the month. And I said, you know, I can't have that kind of pressure on me. So on the day that I get paid, I pay all my bills that morning. I get paid on Friday. I get up early. And I sit there and I pay every single bill that is within 2 weeks of my next paid check. So it's already done. I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to be stressed out. I know I'm not going to be late because it's already paid. And it's okay to pay your bills early, okay? You don't have to wait until the exact date that it's due. Next, you want to have regular money meetings. If you are single, like myself, I have money meetings with myself. I sit down, I look at what I have coming in, I look at what I have going out, I look at my calendar and I look at what's coming up, and I make a plan for it. If you have a spouse, you want to have a meeting with your spouse, and you want to talk about where you are with your money. Money is the #1 cause of divorce, the #1, okay? And that's because before you get together, you probably didn't even talk about how you manage your money. So you might have one person that's a spender and one person that's a saver. That's not going to work, you know? So you really want to have those money meetings that are on the same day, every week, or whatever cadence you put it at. And you want to show up for that meeting. You want to show up with a pen, a paper, and a plan, okay? Next, you want to track your daily spending. This is very, 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 very crucial when you are first starting your journey. You want to come home every night and you want to track everything that you spent your money on. You can create like a money tracker where you'll just basically put down everything you spent your money. I don't care if it was 50 cents. You want to write it down, because what's going to ultimately happen is you're going to start to see this long list of things that you're buying and you're like, oh my God, why I didn't have to do that. I'm going to do better the next day. And then maybe the next day you're going to have less items on your spending tracker. And then it's just going to continue to develop that muscle of you not having to just spend. Okay. So that's how you dominate your spending habits. Next, let's talk about debt. Okay. Her debt. How many of you guys have debt? By the raise of your hands, or you can put the hand up on the Zoom picture. And how many of you guys want to get rid of your debt? Yes. So debt is the state of owing money. Okay. In my opinion, you have good debt, and you have bad debt. Okay. Debt is normal, but be weird. That's by Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he absolutely hates debt. I hate debt too. I don't like it. I can't stand it. There are certain debts that I'm okay with, like house debt. I'm okay with house debt. And there's other certain debts that are okay that we'll get into, like credit card debt and things like that. Credit card debt is not good if you are not using it properly. Okay. There is a way to use credit card debt, or a reason rather to use credit card debt. This is a scripture that I have here. Owe no one anything except to love one another, for he who loves another has fulfilled the law. Romans 13:8. It is a sin to be in debt, in certain debt, in my opinion. We should not just be owing. That is not what God has for us for our lives. It's absolutely not what he has for us, and we have to know that. Debt can hinder your financial success. Debt can cause a mountain of issues like stress, anxiety, negative credit scores, the inability to make large purchases like homes, cars, and even obtain certain jobs. There are certain jobs nowadays where you have to submit your credit report. And if it is not in a place where it should be, you will not be hired. And the reason why they use your credit report is because it shows how you spend your money. It shows your money personality. It shows how trustworthy you are. And so they'll look at your credit report to see that. Here are some common debts: credit card debt, medical debt, student loan debt, which is it's a good debt. Some believe it is, some believe it's not, because they're not even doing what they went to school for. Personal loans, cell phone, electronic debt. Oh my God, I cannot stand cell phone debt. I just can't. That's why I still have my 8+ here. And people talk about me all the time, but it worked. I can make a call. Overdraft fees, payday loans, court debt, tax debt, and debt to friends and family. And so when we talk about debt to friends and family, that is like if you borrow money from someone. A lot of people borrow money and they don't give it back. And that's a bad debt to have. So now we're going to talk about some different methods and how you can pay your debt off. Okay, we're going to talk about, I believe I have 3 different methods that you can use to start getting rid of this debt. So the first one is the debt snowball method. So you want to list all of your debts from smallest to largest. And you can print out your free credit report. I think you go to freecreditreport.com and you can print out what you have on your credit. Everything may be there, everything may not be there. Like we talked about debt to friends and family, we talked about court debt. You might even have and all these things I say because I've been in it before, where you may have car debt, certain things that you may owe, like the DMV and things like that. So you want to list all of these debts from smallest to largest balance. Then you want to attack the smallest debt while making minimum payments on the rest of your debts. Okay. So I probably should have created something for you guys to see, but let's say you have, your first debt is $200, your second debt is $400, and your third debt is $600. So your minimum payment on all of these debts is $20, okay? So what you're gonna do is any extra money that you have in your budget, let's say you have an additional $100 to throw at debt every month. So you're going to take $100, you're going to throw it at that $200 debt, and then you're going to pay your minimum payment on the other debts that you have, which is like $20. Once you're done paying that first debt, which is going to be pretty quickly, then you're going to take that $100 plus the minimum payment, and you're going to start paying off that second debt. So you'll pay $120 on that debt, you'll pay $20 on the last debt until you have snowballed and you have completed paying off your debt. This is the debt payment method that I use to pay off my debt. The reason why I love this method the most is because it gives you instant gratification. You are feeling good and successful because you're paying stuff off, right? So if you have a debt that's $50, you could probably pay that off in 1 week. As soon as you write it down, you can pay it off. And then you start to feel good. You're like, okay, I can do this. I got this. Let me keep going. And it just keeps you motivated. The next method is the avalanche method. So some people who are like numbers driven and they really look at, they're probably not emotional about money. This is the method that they use. They list their debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. The reason why they do this is because in their mind, they're like, if I'm paying a 30% or 20% interest rate on this debt, I am giving this thing more money. And so they may have something that's at 0% and they'll put that at the last debt to pay. So you list your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate, and you begin to attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, and then to the lowest interest rate. You repeat this method as you pay off your debt. It may take you a little bit longer to pay your debt this way, but this person feels like they're saving more money because they're paying off that highest interest rate first. And then the next one is the debt consolidation method. Some people, it's just too much for them to be looking at all this debt. They probably have 10 items and they're like, this is just too much. I can't do it. So they list all of their debts and they combine all of them into one monthly payment by transferring the balances of your different cards to a single credit card that has a 0% or very low interest rate. Okay. I said this debt is really, or this method is really for the person who just really can't handle all of that debt. The only way that it really works is if you can get something at a 0% interest rate. to combine all of your debts together. But some people do try to go through like those debt consolidation companies. I really wouldn't suggest that because they have very high fees in those companies. And so you end up paying a lot more than you would have paid by combining all of your debts together. And so you definitely want to make sure that you do your research. And if that's a way that you want to go, just try to combine all of them to like a very low, introductory interest rate. Or, I know some people have gotten like personal loans and they just take that personal loan, they pay everything off, and then all they have to pay back is that personal loan, and it's at a lower interest rate. So definitely do your homework with the debt consolidation method, okay? All right, you guys good? You all right? All right, so now we're going to her savings. So I'm going to stop here really quick. Let me see, what time is it? It's 9:54. Just really quick, does anyone have any questions? I haven't seen the chat, but let's see. Does anyone have any question?
Hey, Jasmine, I don't have a question, but maybe you have an insight because it was in the chat. I think Financial Freedom asks about like tracking spending systems. So I just said like every dollar some that I knew, but I didn't know if you had maybe some suggestions for her.
Yeah, so yes, absolutely. That is good. You need a budget. Mint.com, Every Dollar app, Personal Capital. Yes, those are definitely some apps that you can use, or you can just use pen and paper. But you have to know what your personality is. My personality is pen and paper. So I have to write it out because I have to feel how I'm spending my money. So you can do pen and paper, or you can use some of these apps. These are really good apps that you can use. Let's see, I suggest watching some YouTube videos. Yes. So YouTube videos are very good. When I first started my journey, I was on YouTube all the time. That is just basically how I taught myself. With YouTube University, you can learn everything there. So yes, you are correct. Home purchase, that is what you can use. You're welcome. You are welcome. Any other questions before we move forward on debt?
Jasmine, you're good, honey. You're good with time. Keep
rolling. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I do, Jasmine, I have a question.
Yes.
So back to the snowball method. When you said, I kind of missed what you said about when you were giving like the breakdown. So you, for that method, you would list them from smallest to largest. So you said that $100, is that like, would you suggest like a planning, like you plan that $100 to go towards your debt, you put that in your budget kind of like, or what did you say about the $100?
Yes, so you're gonna put that in your budget.
Okay.
So we're gonna, a little bit further down in the presentation, we're gonna talk about your budget and how you can complete, there are different methods of your budget. But after you pay your bills, or you have your four walls bills, and we'll talk about that as well. So you're paying your rent, your utility bills, your transportation bills. After you have all of that set aside, then you'll say, okay, I know that from my paycheck, I have $100 left to just do whatever with. And you're gonna use that $100 that you have additional for your debt payments. Okay, so that will be the $100 additional that you use to throw at your debt. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Any other questions before we get into saving? All right, and then I do want to note also that you can, you don't have to just stick to one method. If you want, you can, change the methods up. If one method is not working for you, you can, go to the avalanche method. If that one's not working for you, you can go to the consolidation method. You don't have to just stick to one particular way. You can mix them up if you want. The way that I did it, this was my own personal Jasmine method, was this debt gets on my nerves method. You have some debts that just get on your nerves. It just nags you, And I was like, I got to get this out of my life because I can't take it anymore. And I would just pay it. It was no special method. It was just the get on your nerves debt method that I created for myself because it brought me a lot of stress and anxiety. And that was tax debt. Yeah, tax debt, girl, you know. All right, so now let's go to her savings.
Oh, it's one more question, Jasmine, in the chat around how do you get good with the cash envelopes?
Hold on one second. We're gonna wait for.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna wait for the rest of the questions. If it's not pertinent to what Jasmine asked right now, we'll wait till the end so she can continue with her presentation.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
my apologies.
No, you good on purchase. You all right. I'm loving it. All right. So now we're gonna talk about her savings. Savings. We're gonna talk about savings that you should consider, saving strategies and methods, and then also how do you find money in your budget that you already have that you probably don't know that you have. So there is a desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. That's Proverbs 21:20. A foolish man just spends everything that they have. They don't save it for anything. So there are three different savings. We have the emergency savings. You use this savings in emergency situations that need immediate attention. What you want to do is you want to save your first $1,000. Sinking funds. This is savings for specific purchases or expenses over time. And then we have long-term savings. So this is normally used for big purchases like real estate, retirement, etc. So I know some of you guys want to purchase homes, vacation spots, cars. That's also a big purchase as well. And so we're going to talk about strategies for those. But before we go, how many of you guys have an emergency fund of at least $1,000?
How we get there again?
All right, good. I know in the beginning of my journey, I struggled with saving $1,000. I couldn't even imagine saving $1,000.
Wow.
Even though I had gotten money, of $1,000 or more, but I couldn't even think. I was like, save $1,000. Like, how can I do? I can't do that. Like that number was so big in my mind in the beginning of my journey. And when I saved the first $1,000, it was a game changer. So we encourage that you save your very first $1,000 as quickly as you possibly can. Okay. You want to do that before you actually start your debt payments. The reason why is because we know that emergencies happen. We know stuff is going to come up. We know something's going to break. We know it's just going to happen, expect it. And so if you have this savings that's already kind of tucked away, it's not going to stop you from continuing your debt payoff plan, because now you have that emergency savings that you're able to handle whatever emergency has come up. Okay. I know a lot that, in my journey, I saved my first $1,000 and then my tires went out. And I had to spend $600 on 4 new tires. And I probably could have went and got, some cheaper tires, but, it was important for me to have good quality tires so that I wouldn't continue to run into the situation. And I just, I was really happy because I'm like, before this time, I would have been calling my mama, my daddy, like, hey, y'all, my tires went out. I need some help. I need to borrow some money. But it helped me to feel very confident in my journey. And so you want to save your first $1,000 before you even start like your debt-free journey. And this is specifically for emergencies. And then we have our sinking funds. As you can see here, there's a sinking fund for travel, education, car, health, house. We know that there are also some bills that come up that you're going to have to pay. So some people pay their insurance premiums once a year or once every 6 months. I'm that person. You may have, we know that here in California, we have a car registration that's due every single year. And you pretty much know roundabout how much that is going to be. So you take whatever that fee is and you divide it into the amount of time it's going to take you that you need to pay that bill or whatever it is. So car registration, for example, I'll use me. My car registration is like $353 something. It's like three whatever. So I take that $300, I divide it into 12, and it ends up being $16 per paycheck. And so I will show you guys my little system, but I save $16 per paycheck, and that's so much better than waiting until my registration is due. And now I have to take $300 out of my paycheck in order to pay that, because we don't have a choice. We got to pay it. I mean, you got a choice, but then you're going to be riding dirty, and you don't want to do that. I did that before too. It cost me way more money because I got pulled over. Listen, y'all, I done been through it all. So you absolutely want to plan for those purchases. And then long-term savings. You know, I just purchased a home, and so I had to save for it. I can't wait to talk about the giving part, because you know, God has just been completely amazing. But I had to, you know, save money for the down payment for my home. I mean, it took me a while to do that. I had to make some sacrifices that, you know, I couldn't hang, couldn't do certain things that I was used to doing in order for that big purchase. Retirement, we know it's coming. Like, I'm no expert when it comes to it because I'm not there yet, but I'm soaking up everything that my mother is going through right now because she is retiring. And so now we do talk about money, but I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to invest in? How do I need to plan? Because I do want to retire. I don't want to work forever, you know? So we have to plan for that, and we have to plan over time. They say by the time, you know, we get to retirement age that there's not going to be much left. And so we have to do our parts and making sure that we're not going to be living on our kids, you know, if we have them, or just, you know, really struggling. You know, in the field that I work in, there are a lot of older people who are struggling financially because they did not properly plan for retirement. Okay. So here are some strategies that you can use in saving money. So first, 10% savings. You want to aim to save 10% of your monthly income. Okay, and whatever that is, you want to aim to save that. You want to pay yourself first. You want to save a determined amount of money each month before paying any other bills or expenses. This is a line item that I have directly after paying my tithes. I have tithes and offering. The next line is pay yourself first. And I determine what amount that is, and that's what gets done before I pay anybody else. My water, my gas, my mortgage, all of that. Okay. Next, you want to save large increases. So you want to take advantage of the opportunity to save large increases that you may get, like your tax returns, your bonuses, and your stimulus checks. A lot of people got their stimulus checks, their tax returns, and they already know what they're going to go buy with it. But it's like, why don't you take that opportunity to get a large boost? And you can either, what we talked about earlier, you can pay some debt with that money, or put that money aside and save it. And then we have automatic savings. I don't know what this green line is, y'all. I didn't put that there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm sorry that it's there. So automatic savings that are auto transferred from your checking account or your paycheck into your savings account. In the beginning of my journey, and even now, really, because I'm so busy, I don't always remember to transfer the money into my savings account. So what I do is at my job, the way that I have it allocated is the money goes automatically to my savings account. I don't have to think about it, worry about it. I just let it go there and let the money keep stacking. Okay. That is so easy for people who just don't have that muscle yet. And y'all, when you do it, don't transfer the money back, okay? Because that was me too. I transferred the money right on back. I was like, oh, no, give me my $25 back. Can you put that back? So make sure that you leave it there. And another strategy that I use is I have one of the banks that I have my savings account at. It's only 2 locations, and it is a hassle to get to that location. Okay. They don't have ATMs everywhere. And so that's where I have the money that I know I don't want to touch. I have it at that credit union. And they're only open at the time that I'm at work. So I can't even be like, oh, let me hurry up and get off and go run to the bank and get the money. It's really going to have to be intentional. Like I'm going to have to like take time off work or, find out some kind of way to get that money. All right, another one, which is one that I absolutely love, which is savings challenges. So these saving challenges make saving money fun, and it creates good saving habits. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard of saving challenges, but one that I absolutely love and adore and is so special to me is a $5 savings challenge. So basically what this is you save all of your $5 bills that you come into contact with. Okay, so I run kind of like a challenge on my Instagram and my YouTube channel where we're just saving $5 bills. If you are a cash user, every single time you go to the store and you use cash and they are going to give you change, if you have a $5 bill, you take that $5 bill and you put it to the side and you just let it keep stacking. You let it stack. If you do not use cash, then I have every 5th day of the month, or every 5 days, we transfer increments of 5 into our savings account. So on the 5th, we transfer $5. On the 10th, we transfer $10. On the 15th, 15. On the 20th, 20. And then you just let your money continue stacking that way. Last year, I had committed to doing this, and I did the $5 challenge, and I think I saved, it was a little bit over $1,000 that I saved with my $5 challenge. And you don't even realize that you're saving this money, and just think the more money you spend, the more money you're gonna save, okay? And then the next is the no spend challenge. Not spending money on anything outside of your bills and expenses. So sometimes I'll implement this challenge. I have like a no by July, not spending any money in March. You just sit and you say, okay, I'm not spending anything. And then by the time you look up, you're gonna be like, wow, I saved $500, or I saved whatever that figure may be. The next one is a no eating out challenge. This is also something that I do often. It's no spending money on eating out, cook at home, and take leftovers to work, basically. You do go, you print out a grocery list. You're intentional with all of this, you guys. You have to print out your grocery list. You have to determine what you're gonna eat. So you write out a plan. Monday, I'm eating chili. Tuesday, I'm eating tacos. Wednesday, I'm eating this. So when you go to the grocery store, you know exactly what it is that you need to buy. You're not just throwing things in your basket and have to run to the store again because maybe you forgot an ingredient that you're gonna need, and you're just constantly spending money. So I have a no eating out challenge that I do, and the way that I do mine is I take the money out of the bank that I would have used to eat out. So I have a $50 eating out budget every 2 weeks. I take that money out of the bank as if I'm going to eat out. I carry it with me because I also need to make sure I'm building this discipline, and I make the conscious decision not to eat out. I'm a little extreme. If now I'm working from home, but before then, if I forgot my food at home, I did not eat. I'm extreme though. And I know the medical professionals are like, why you gotta eat? But that was a way that I disciplined myself, because who wants to be hungry? And so that was just my method. I mean, of course you can eat. I'm not telling you not to eat, but you want to be, you want to be successful. And that was a way that I was successful. And that would teach me, girl, you better cook, because you're going to be hungry. You don't want to be hungry. So those are a couple of challenges that I am a part of. I have like a lot of other challenges that I do, but those are some ways that you can save money and make it fun for yourself. And if you have a friend or a family member or a community of people that you're doing this with, it just really, really, really encourages you, makes you stick to it, and it's really fun to do. So the next one, find money. How do you find money in your budget? How do you find money that you think you have, you think you don't have, but you actually do? So you can find money in your budget by doing the following. So you eliminate wasteful spending from your account audit. So go back to what we talked about when you pulled your checking account statements, and you start to see some of the things that you probably didn't need to spend your money on. That's how you find money. You're like, oh, I spent $50 at, I don't know, 7-Eleven. I probably didn't need to spend $50 at 7-Eleven. So you're going to find that money that you're now able to save. You can negotiate your APR and remove late fees if applicable. So if you have credit cards, you can call them and say, hey, you know, my APR is 20%. What can you do for me? And they will work with you, okay? Remove late fees. You don't have to pay that late fee. You can call them and say, hey, now if you're doing it every month, they're probably not going to waive it every month, but they will waive your late fees for the most part. So, you know, get bold, call them, let them know, hey, I don't have it to pay you an extra $35. Can you waive it? And for the most part, they will. They'll waive like up to 2 or 3 just by you calling them. You can negotiate your cable bill, bundle to save money, eliminate channels, and even cancel cable. I thought I couldn't live without cable. Before I moved, I was like, oh my gosh, cable, like I've had cable all my life. And then when I didn't have it, I was like, okay, well, let me download Hulu and Netflix. And, you know, it's much cheaper than paying. Some people are paying like almost $200 in cable bills. Like, that's ridiculous. So it's definitely something that you can negotiate. You can save money or just cancel it altogether. The next one, review your cell phone plan to ensure you're on the lowest plan for you. Ask for discounts and consider prepaid. So I used to work at Verizon, a lot of you guys know, and sometimes they will cancel plans, and all the time they're always coming up with new plans that are cheaper. You can get discounts if you work in certain professions. So you can call and say, hey, I work for, you know, I'm an officer, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I work in this field, and they'll give you money off of your bill. They have that for certain companies. So you definitely want to call and ask for that. And then also consider prepaid. Like, why not? You know, I pay $50 for my cell phone. Now, it's an A+, right? I told y'all that earlier. So I don't have the additional bill that my phone is paid off, but you know, you don't have to be on a bill. You can go prepaid. Your phone's gonna ring the same, it's gonna work the same. You're still gonna be able to talk to people, you're still gonna use internet, but it's something that you can spend lower money on, okay? You can negotiate the best plan for your internet. You can negotiate your medical bills. Some people didn't know that you can negotiate your medical bills. Call them up and let them know before you even accept the bill. I had a friend who went to the doctor. She said they told her that her fee would be $2,000. And she was like, what? Like, no, I'm not paying you $2,000. I'm just not. I guess I'm not getting the operation. And they were like, okay, well, can you give us $1,500? And she was like, no. Long story short, she ended up paying $500 from $2,000. So you can negotiate. We just gotta ask, and we will receive. Negotiate your rent and refinance your mortgage. There was a time where I was paying rent. I was paying like, I think I was paying like $1,500, and let's see, I was paying $1,500. And I called my landlord. I got a new landlord, and I was like, you know, I can't pay it, you know. And I went from $1,500 to $1,250. So we just got to open our mouths, and then we have to ask. Let's see. Okay, so use coupons. coupons. That's also something that we want to do. We want to use coupons. We want to use those sales in order to shop. So we also want to remove distractions, okay? One thing that I had to do was I had to unsubscribe from my favorite retail stores and no shopping virtually now. I had to unsubscribe from them all because let me tell you, Victoria's Secret was emailing me every day, okay? Bath and Body Works was emailing me every day, and they are doing that for a reason. It is a marketing tool that they use for you to spend money. If it's a store you like, you're gonna be like, ooh, oh, they're having a sale today. Oh, but the sale's not for you, honey. You paying off debt. The sale is not for you. You're saving money. The sale is not for you. You have a goal, okay? All right, her budget and her bag. So I don't want to keep you guys long, so let's keep going. So if you don't know where you are going, you'll end up someplace else, okay? It's not about how much money you make, it's about what you do with what you have, okay? Some people think if I just make a little bit more, I'll be all right. But if you have not changed your mind about money, if you do not have a plan for your money, sis, you still gonna be broke. That was my story. I was still broke, even though I was making a considerably amount of more money, but I was still broke. So you wanna have a monthly budget. You wanna create one budget per month, which will include your monthly income, your bills, and your expenses, okay? The second type of budget is a paycheck to paycheck budget. This is the budget that I use. I live and die by this budget. You create one budget per paycheck. Included in this budget is the paycheck income and the bills and the expenses that are due within this check and the next check, okay? So I have a calendar for the month and I write out all my bills and then I write my paydays. So I'm paid on, let's say I'm paid this Friday. So every bill that I have between this Friday and the next Friday that I'm paid on that Friday, I pay all of those bills within those 2 weeks. Okay, so that is what a paycheck to paycheck budget is. I budget my paychecks. And then the bare bones budget, you create a budget that is stripped of spending and only includes your four walls. Your four walls are your rent, your mortgage, your utility bills, your transportation, and let me see, rent, mortgage, utility, transportation, and food, okay? And then the zero-based budget is you create a budget by giving every single penny and income a name. That's a popular Dave Ramsey budget. That is what I budget as well. I budget every single penny that I make, okay? Every dollar has to have a name. If it doesn't have a name, it's going to get spent somewhere where it shouldn't be spent, okay? These are some kind of tips that you can do to help you budget. You can use apps. Apps are really great to use because you can connect with your bank accounts. Add fun money to your budget, okay? All work and no play is never fun, and it is a huge discouragement and can cause you to quit. I'm gonna put an asterisk here. Make sure you put fun money in your budget. Whatever makes you feel good, maybe you wanna do it once a quarter, but if you just go all in, you're not gonna be motivated to continue because paying off debt is not fun. I'm telling you, saving money is not fun. All of these things just not. And in the beginning of my journey, I went cold turkey and then I actually relapsed and I went back to shopping more than I had ever shopped. And so you want to add fun money to your budget and then you want to reward yourself. You deserve to reward yourself for your hard work and it encourages you to keep going. So you can say, you know what, I'm gonna pay off these two debts, and then after that, I'm gonna buy myself a bottle of perfume. Or you know, when I purchased my home, I bought myself like this diffuser that I have always wanted, but I saved for it, and I said, this is something I'm gonna reward myself for this big accomplishment. It was something that was small, and it doesn't always have to. You don't always have to spend money on it. You know, you can just say, okay, I'm gonna do something that's gonna make me feel good for all of my hard work. Give yourself grace. Let go of your money mistakes. We all have made mistakes, so don't be hard on yourself, okay? We've all been there. We've all fallen. So just give yourself grace and know that it's okay and you can keep going. Affirmations keep you encouraged, and they keep you focused on your why. Some popular affirmations that I would use is money is attracted to my bank account every single day. Okay. I am credit card debt free. Even if you're not, you say that I am credit card debt free. Yes, I am. And I make good money decisions and I invest wisely. Next, shift your circle of influence. Stay motivated by being around those who are on the same road that you're on. When I first started my journey, I unfollowed everybody who was not in line with what I wanted to accomplish. If you go to my page now, the people I follow like my church and finance people. I have a few friends, but I had to get it out. I had to get it away from me. So I know that this is difficult for a lot of people, especially if you don't have somebody in your personal space who is doing this thing with you. So social media, yeah, you only are following those people who keep you motivated. Set up the right accounts. Set up bill accounts, spending accounts, savings accounts, long-term and short-term and retirement accounts. So I have a bill account, I have a spending account, I have a savings account. All of my money is separated, okay? I do not have all of my money in the same account. It's just too much for me. I can't take it. So I have all of my money separated. And you want to do this with free bank accounts, okay? If you have to end up paying fees for these accounts, they're probably not the right ones. You want to create budget meetings. We talked about that earlier. Meet regularly with yourself or your spouse to review your finances and your money plan. You want to track your expenses, track your daily expenses so that you know what you're spending your money on. Multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. Okay, so this is where we're going to talk about her bag. It is a necessity, you guys. Managing your money is great. Making sure that you don't have late fees, you're debt free, all that stuff is great. But in order for you to really get to that next step and really level up in your finances, you have to have multiple streams of income. And there are multiple ways that you can do this. And I have a couple of ways here. One is selling physical goods online. This is basically, my thing didn't save. All right, sorry, you guys, that shouldn't be there. But you want to sell goods online. I have an Etsy shop and I sell cash envelopes. So these are the envelopes that I sell. I have a lot of them, but this is one of them that one of my customers had purchased. She's saving money for school. And so you just, this is the item that I sell on Etsy, but you can sell anything, you guys. Don't think that people will not buy, because they will. Trust me. We are consumers and people will buy. You can sell online courses. Something like today, if you have something that you're really, really good at, that God has blessed you with, you want to sell that online course. People purchase it. A freelancer, a home-based business, a blogger, a YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I make money off of. So on my YouTube channel, I make money for filming videos, and then which I'm paid through YouTube. And then I also make money because I advertise my business on YouTube. So it's kind of like a double, it's a double whammy there. And that's two of my income streams that I have. And then affiliate marketing and being a consultant. So if you're like, you know what, I don't have anything that I want to sell, but you can sell for somebody else and you can make money from that. There are people who make a lot of money in affiliate marketing. And then also being a consultant. So I'm a beauty counter consultant. So not only do I sell my own items, but I also sell beauty counter. So it is a product that I absolutely believe in and stand behind. And I believe that if you are going to sell something for someone else, you definitely should really believe in their mission and what it is that they're selling, and you can make a kickback from that. Okay. All right. Her giving. This is the last thing, guys, and then we'll be done. So her giving, trusting God with your life and your finances. Even before I made the decision to give my finances in order. I was a giver and I'm still a giver. I give my tithes and my offering, and I also give even outside of that. This is very important to me, and it should be very important to every believer. There's scriptures that, Bishop has taught us about giving. There was once a time when I was not very consistent in that. And I just always remember there was a message that he preached a few years ago where he talked about giving. And I just had to look at my life and look at where I wanted to go and really let God that know that I do trust you with my life and I trust you with my money. And so an act of showing how I trust you and that I am in covenant with you, I then began to give. And even though I was broke, you guys, I was broke not because I was giving. I was broke because I was not managing the 90%. Okay. Off top, I give him 10% plus my offering. But then that 90, y'all, I was cutting up. I was cutting up with the 90. So a lot of times I hear when we talk about giving, people are saying like, oh, I don't have enough money to give. I can't give because I don't have it. I'm like, no, since you're not giving it because you're not giving it to God first. That's the very first thing you should do before I pay anybody, before I pay myself, because I don't have to have income. And I know that God has blessed me with a job that I am paid, for. He's blessed me with a mind. He's blessed me with a roof over my head. He's blessed me with good health. And how could I not give back to him what I owe him, what he has commanded and what he has told us to do? And so I really have to show my faithfulness in that and give. Honor the Lord with your possessions and with the first fruits of all your increase. So your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will overflow with new wine. Proverbs 3, 9, and 10. I talked a little bit earlier about what giving has done for me. And ever since I really committed to being a giver, God has blessed me in ways that I can't even imagine. When we talk about the windows of heaven being open for you and overflowing with a blessing that you just can't even imagine, sometimes we think that you're like, oh, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I received a call a few months back where this is how, in my mind, God blesses us. Number one, I've just always, been healthy, been able to provide for my child as a single parent, which is not easy. And if you are a single parent, even if you're not a single parent, it's not easy taking care of children. I've been able to do that. She hasn't ever wanted for anything. My car, I gave a testimony a couple of months ago that I was a little afraid to give because I was, I didn't want the backlash of, people and what they had to say. But then I had to realize, oh, God bless you and you need to tell this from the mountaintop. So the Lord knows I hate car notes. I do not like them. I had, you guys know, I had my last car that I paid off and I was like, I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off because I just don't want to pay a car note. My car went out and I was forced to get a car because I needed to get back and forth to work and my daughter to school. And so I went out, I got the car, which I absolutely love. So I didn't mind paying the car note because I really loved the car, but in my heart of hearts, I just didn't want to pay the car note. I think it was about 6 months later, my mother called me and she was like, I was just kind of feeling down. She's like, what's going on? It's like, I just, I got to buy this house and I don't want to buy the house, then have a car note. Like, it's just too, I just don't want all my money locked up in all, bills and daily life things. But I was like, I just don't want it. And she was like, okay, all right. Are you able to take off work tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I can. Took off work. She paid my whole car off, y'all, $30,000. Because I am faithful in my giving, okay? I of course, God continues to bless us, but I was just, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I was so speechless. So like nothing like that has ever happened for me before in my life. And so I was just really like, oh my God, like, You know, she's like, I just want to bless you, you know? And so I believe that we definitely want to continue to give, because God will continue to bless us where we feel like we don't have. He will give us what we need to be able to keep moving forward. So I truly believe in that. And all of the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land and of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. So we owe him. We owe him our first fruit. We owe him 10%. Honor the Lord with your possessions and the first fruits of your increase, so your barns. Okay, we already read that one. Okay, so will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, in what way have you robbed me? Well, in what way have we robbed you? In tithes and offering. You are cursed with the curse, for you have robbed me. Even this whole nation, bring all the tithes to the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and try me now. Test me now in this, says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such a blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it. He tells us to test him, to trust him. And if we trust him, we will trust him with our money, and we will give him our 10% and beyond. All right, guys, so that is everything. So this is now Q&A time. So I know some of you guys did have some questions, and we want to open it up. It's okay to move to Q&A, First Lady?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just going to say that first of all, before you go to Q&A, I just want to commend you highly. I don't know if anybody else was helped, but I truly was, and I appreciate your preparation for this. You have, oh my gosh, you have opened the doors for so many different presentations even after this. I mean, because you could spend time on one thing and really open the door and like really unpack all of those things. But the information that you gave here today was invaluable, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the parts that you, and no matter what age you are, how much you even have, we can continue to grow from this point. So I commend you, and I just want to clap it up for you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Appreciate your dedication to this and what you have presented to us today. And so, yeah, we will get into questions. I did have one that I had saved that someone put in the chat. Someone was asking, I believe it was Kim. She was saying, could you just give verbiage on how you renegotiate your rent? Like, what was the verbiage that you used to get that rent renegotiated? Because that sounds good. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I really want to try that. I want to try that.
So, honestly, I was just real. I called. I said, you know, I don't have the money and I'm struggling to pay my rent. And he said, okay, how much can you pay? And I said, first I didn't expect him to even ask me that. So I was like, 1,200. And then he was like, how about 1,250? And I said, okay, cool, 1,250. And that's what I began to pay. I think in this time in which we are dealing with now with the pandemic, and a lot of people are, you know, definitely struggling to pay rent, that's definitely, if that is, you know, an issue or like a hindrance, I would definitely bring up what's happening right now, and see what they can negotiate with you. Maybe they won't do it you know, for the life of you renting from them, but maybe they'll do it for 3 months. Maybe they'll do it for 6 months. Maybe, you know, they'll negotiate something out. So I would definitely just call them and let them know, you know, the situation, not completely, but just saying, hey, I need some help. Is there a way that we can work out me paying maybe $100 cheaper? You know, anything would help.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you guys will know too, just as though the renter might be struggling, the landlord is probably doing the same. So if you speak to them, you know, and just everybody can negotiate, they probably in the negotiation processes as well with the mortgage lender. So we, you know, and then another thing that we also have to remember, aside from these things that Jasmine talked to us about, we walk in favor. you know, the authority and the power that you have to dominate in this earth, we walk in that. So we got to exercise that, use it. Come back and tell us what happened, Kim, because they will lower that rent. I believe God for you with that. So we walk in favor. Go with favor.
I'm definitely gonna try. I'm thankful to have a private owner as well. So that's like a plus, I believe. You know, even in getting the place, it was God. It was God, because I had no idea, but I walked in and said, "This is gonna be my place," and I got the call the next day. So, yeah, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Hi, Jasmine. This is Monica. Great presentation. I really appreciate, like Lady Withers said, the time, energy that you put forth. And it's definitely exciting to see what you've done relative to your business. I do remember some time ago you shared, and I can't remember the exact setting, that you wanted to do something where you would affect young women. And so I'm excited that, you know, social media as well as YouTube has created a platform where you're impacting young women and people, you know, on a broad spectrum, as well as women like, you know, us. So that's exciting. But do you mind going back to the screen that you had the challenges on? I wasn't able to jot that all down. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. This one here.
And Monica, we are young. Okay, I just want to let you know, Monica.
Listen, tomorrow I'll be or Monday rather, I'm getting a +1, so I'm excited about that too.
Oh, happy birthday, girl.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Any other questions, you guys? Yes, Joey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have a question. I just have a statement. I just want to say thank you. This was very helpful. You might have seen me. I was screenshotting everything and trying to write stuff, but this was very helpful, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to use some of the I'm doing a challenge now, but I'm going to use some of the things that you said on here, and it was very helpful. And I appreciate your time. It was very good. Just wanted to give you a kudos on that. It was very good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll piggyback off of everybody. It was the bomb, like for real. Like I'm already like, let me go to my credit cards and get the interest rate, right. Because that whatever strategy that was, yeah, the what was it, the avalanche strategy? That was like, because that's what get on my nerves. Like, God, okay, I paid, you know, made a payment, but then you telling me $30 of my payment went to interest, so I really only paid $15. You know, so it's like, wait, yep. So that when I'm a numbers girl, so that kind of like made me like itch a little bit, like, oh yeah, like, so that's what I'm going to look into that one. But this was the bomb, like, and I just pray, and I agree with you that your business, this right here, will just catapult you to levels that are unimaginable to your mind. This is bomb.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to say too, like I follow Jasmine's content on social media and YouTube, and I've learned so much. I'm probably maybe one of the younger ones in the group. But if for the moms out there who have children, you know, tell them, get them involved in those money meetings, like teach them what as you're going through and as you're learning it, because that's only going to prepare them to when they get to you know, college or whatever they want to do, and they're working through their own finances. They're not falling in the same traps, and it's just, you know, our money is not staying in our generation. We're not growing it in our community. So that was just like my little point that I wanted to say to the moms, like, you know, definitely show your children this, show them the good and the bad and everything, because it will only prepare them. Yeah, I'm not a mom, but if it took me some time with my mom to get to that, because as I was learning these things, I was going back telling her, and she was like, well, can you help me with my budget? And we've grown together so much through this time, as us both trying to get our finances in order. So that's all I wanted to share. But thank you again so much, Jasmine. I love everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely have to start talking more about money in our homes, because we don't, and it will, even as friends, we don't talk about money, you know?
True.
So not only in our homes, but as friends, it's always a secret about how one is making money. And, you know, and you're always trying to figure out like, well, what's this friend doing? And they don't want to share because maybe they want to do better than their friend. But in other nationalities, they be on the golf club talking about money. Like, okay, how we gonna get this money? Let's link up together. Let's start this business. Let's do this. You know, we can put our funds together. And that is just something I think as a culture that we have to start to do more of a better job at talking and discussing. And we all got bills. I mean, we don't have to lay out everything, but you know, just being able to connect with someone else and invest in something, or you know, start a business. You guys might do better together than just alone. So it's definitely something I'm pretty open. As you know, you guys may have seen me on YouTube. Some people are kind of like, oh my God, like my dad watched one of my videos and he was like, why are you counting that money on your YouTube channel and you trying to flex and show off? And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, no, I'm just showing how to properly manage money. He's like, yeah, I figured it out after I watched the whole thing. But that's something that's different for him because he's older, and in that generation, you know, there's a lot of things that we just didn't talk about. You know, we didn't talk about money and, you know, and things like that. So we definitely have to keep talking about it.
That's a good point. I do want to say that, like she was saying, you know, you can go back, you can reach backwards. When you gain knowledge, you know, you might not, you will have your children ahead, but if you don't have a child, you also have a mother and a grandmother and an auntie, and you know, we have to heal our generation. So if you don't have a legacy that has come forth from your own loins or womb, rather, you got to, we have to work on healing our generation, healing the culture, because the culture is struggling. The culture is sick because we don't, you know, like you said, we don't talk about the money. But I believe that we're getting a hold to this. I believe in the Black community, you hear more about investing, you hear more about flipping houses, you hear more about making your first purchase, and you know, all this wholesaling and stuff like that. I'm trying to go deep in this because it's so many that are way ahead of us. So you can be that 30-year-old millionaire. You can be that 40-year-old billionaire. And we have to just believe God for more. It's been so much that people have told us we cannot have, but do not believe the lie. We have options. We definitely have options, and we definitely have opportunity. Knowledge is power. And like, this is what Jasmine, she dropped the basics on us today on how to even just save, how to even just budget. These are things that a lot of us, you know, are not good at or just learning about. So we, you know, I appreciate what we have here today for this, the stepping stones of better. Stepping stones of better. And I do see our co-pastor on, a businesswoman to the heart. And co-pastor, if you want to come off mute and say anything before we all get out of here, that will be great. I see. You want to talk, Mom? Take yourself off mute. Mm-hmm. Let's see. You see it? The unmute. Let me see if I can. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to express that how awesome both of you guys were today. And I'm so proud to be among the young women, as you all call yourself. I'm one of the old ones, I guess. I'm 70 plus. So, but anyway, I thank God, and you all are really on the right road to success. And all that you have said today is of utmost importance. And Jasmine, I'm proud of you for the first purchase of your home, and keep moving forward. And a lot of them out there, just add your money, add your obligation, add your savings, add your future holding. We have retirement, we have death, we have inheritance to leave our children. Just keep everything in perspective and keep everything in order. God loves order. And he said, do business until I come. And that's what you all should do. Never give up on business. It is one of the most important part of living in this society today. Thank God for my daughter, the first lady of our church. Her and her husband have successfully marched down through the quarters of things. And I know there's much in the future for all of you that I don't see. Even Siobhan, you will get your home. You will have your business. You just have to say it. I will have whatever the Lord has in store for me. Just keep paying tithes down. Keep giving your offering, and also press down, good measures, press down, shaking together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom, because that comes through the first fruit, that comes through your giving from giving to the Lord and to the church. And we thank God for that, because it's a blessing in all of that. I thank God for you young women, and you're doing a wonderful job. And thank you, First Lady, for honoring me today. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, co-pastor.
Uh-huh.
Good, good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Co-pastor. You always want to have wisdom in the room. You always want to have those who have gone before you. And not only in the word of God, but also in, like what she's talking about, in business trends.
Yeah.
Stephanie said she wanted a vacation home in the Caribbean. I already know she's about to get it.
You can have it.
Yes, Stephanie, I'm already making my reservation. So you just know, like, when when you gonna be offering that. All right. I know you're gonna get it. But y'all, we can have these things. So this is basically what Jasmine has laid out today. So Jasmine, do you have anything else to close us out with? And I just want you guys to enjoy your day. And don't, someone asked me, would this be, this was recorded. And so I'll speak to Bishop about how to, package it up and, make sure it gets out so that people may be able to go back and go over the information that she put out, because it was a lot. I know I did a lot of note taking, but so we can, you can go back and peel it apart. So.
First Lady, is it possible that Jasmine can send us, I'm not a YouTube person like that, but I'd love to see some of her podcasts. Can she send out how I connect with that information, how I can connect with Jasmine to see her YouTube demonstrations and podcasts?
Yes, absolutely. So
thank you.
We are definitely I'm gonna see how maybe Chandela can send out an email. You just reminded me, I did write an ebook last year.
Oh, fantastic.
And, as a gift to you guys for coming on, I would love to bless everyone with my ebook.
Oh my goodness.
It talks about what we talked about today, but included in that are worksheets that you'll be able to utilize to kind of work through each chapter in the book. And so you can do this digitally, and you can also print it out and use it as well. And so each person today will be getting a copy of my ebook, which is titled.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, what a blessing you are.
Thank you.
There's always
Jasmine,
something to learn. Thank you.
Are you
so
able
if you could put your YouTube in the chat, and then we could some people could just
copy the link.
put the
Let me
link.
do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Copy the link right there, Sterling, but we'll make sure that we get the information out just in case people don't know how to.
Perfect. Thank you.
Someone also dropped in a personality quiz for money. A money personality quiz.
Last year I did this, and I took the money to one of those kiosks, and I had to pay like a $15 fee.
I don't know if y'all heard that. Sorry.
I pulled up my YouTube. Can we? Oh, I didn't know who was talking, girl. I thought you talking.
I have pulled up.
It was like
Sorry.
So somebody put. We was going. Really? So someone dropped it in again. This might be.
Yeah, I can put them. That was me. I put in. Jasmine had those terms, so there's actually a test that you could just do yourself, and then you can know, because I remember I thought I was reading the descriptions like, oh, I'm this one, and then I did the test, and I was like, oh, I am that one. Like, yeah. So
Okay.
that's why I put it in there. But I'll reshare that so everyone can take the quiz.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys,
And I did put the link in the chat.
yeah, okay, great. Perfect. And maybe Jasmine, what we'll do is when we get ready to send that out, we'll make sure we put that quiz in there too.
Yes.
And then you guys can definitely get on about your day. Candace, I just want to tell you, baby, you have inspired me. I'm about to go to clean up my kitchen. You hear me? Where's she at? I don't know if y'all watch Candace, but I said that's how you multitask. That's so.
I was like, let me clean up while they talking, so then I'm done for the day, and then I can go. I enroll back in school. Let me go do my class, and then let me do some work. And I was like, I can do this. I can do
I
this.
appreciate that. I appreciate you because sometimes you can't stop the other stuff. You got to do two things at one time. Amen.
Exactly.
I'm just playing with you, girl. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you for having us.
Jasmine, did you put oh yes, no? Is that okay, good. Her YouTube channel is there. Jasmine, what can they look up? Is it just Budget Treasures if we're gonna just search for you in YouTube?
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and you go on search, even if you just put Budget Treasures, I should come up.
Okay. I know that that's another thing that you can do, Miss Sterling. You can put in budget.
Thank you.
And
even if you go to Google, if you go to Google and you put budget,
okay,
Google,
I can Google.
I should come up. I usually come up when I put myself in Google, so you should be able to.
Yes.
I just subscribed.
See, so she get you some more subscribers. Go on and get paid, y'all. That's a whole nother series right there. Like what you.
I don't have a problem supporting.
You can talk about the things that you know, and people will pay you just for you to talk. Okay, so that's a whole nother something else. We have so much money that can be made, and it's right at our fingertips because all of us have talents and we have gifts that somebody want to know about it. So that's a whole nother something. We'll talk about that later on. But Jasmine, thank you so much. Thank you everyone who have come on. Please enjoy your day. Continue to be safe. I think things are being released a little bit, but continue to be safe still so we can stay underneath the radar and we can come up out of this.
Amen.
Okay, so we can go back to church. And I know, right? Y'all ready to go to Disneyland so bad.
Miss you.
I know, Jan, that's a whole nother budget thing. Help me, Jesus. But
I need help.
As long as it's the fun travel, like she said.
As long as it's in the budget.
Yes, girl. Miss Mickey Mouse. I sure do miss them. But okay, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I love you so much. And see you tomorrow on Facebook.
Absolutely.
All right.